Hello everyone, I have another notebook for review. This one was sent to me again by Danica58 on Etsy. Thank you so much for sending me this notebook. This is a new paper that she has in her shop. It is 145 grams per square meter and it is divine. I am really enthusiastic about this paper, and that's really exciting as a reviewer. So I've picked a couple of inks to swatch so that we can test how shimmer inks and shading inks and sheening and permanent inks look, and also Sharpie, because apparently, according to Danica, you can lay down a lot of ink on this paper. You can paint on this paper and it won't bleed through. So, or feather. And already I'm really impressed with the Sharpie. It didn't feather at all. And it didn't bleed through. Spoiler alert. So here's just a little doodle. This is the Platinum Classic Sepia Black. I had to think for a moment. And the Platinum Classic lines are water resistant. So you can actually paint over them. They're not super permanent like some of the other options. There's like all these different variances of water resistance and permanence, and I don't know. I don't know all the details, but this is just a little doodle. I think this paper would be really lovely for writers as the nib feels so smooth. This is really thick paper. It's got just a hair bit of texture, but overall, all the nibs feel just like butter and luxurious, actually more like velvet. And I'm really a big fan, but I think artists would just flip over this paper, or people that like doing ink swatches, as you can lay down so much ink and not have it bleed through. I will say that the inks are just a little bit flatter than they normally would be on a less absorbent paper, or something like, I hate always comparing to Moe River paper, but sheening inks and shading inks and shimmer inks all show really strongly on Moe River paper. They don't show up as strongly on this, but I mean, it's really hard because usually when you're writing with these fountain pen inks, you don't get all those qualities anyways, or those characteristics. So really the only thing that shimmering inks or shading inks or sheening inks are really good for are these really big elaborate ink swatches, because using them with a fine-lined pen, you don't see their qualities as good. So really it just depends on how you want to use the paper. As someone that journals and writes mostly, this is dream paper, honestly. And it doesn't feel too thick. I wasn't sure how I'd feel about such thick paper, but it's actually really nice. Also, I highly recommend this for flex nib writing. If you are someone that wants to practice or just likes playing around with flex nib pens, the weight of this paper is really nice. Tomoe River is not a good option. Thinner papers are not a good option for a flex nib writing because the amount of pressure and the tines can really like move the paper and dig into the paper. So having a thicker paper for that style of writing is really helpful. So that's another pro for this paper. And now to show you the backside. There is no bleeding, just a hair bit of ghosting. But oh man, yeah, thumbs up. I like this paper. I'll see y'all later.